I don't think alcohol was my problem. It's what I was using as a solution to the real problem. Do I think people need to hit rock bottom to change?
Yeah.
No. I think it's important to catch yourself before you do. You need to practice it until you become it. I do want people to understand what they're embarrassed of or ashamed of is their power, and they gotta own it. Let it be a part of you. I'm not gonna say I don't believe in motivation. I just understand how I wanna feel. When you change your lens, you change your life. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. We can talk ourselves out of anything, but then we can also talk ourselves to become anything.
You are watching the Vegas Voices podcast.
All right. Welcome back to another episode of the Vegas Voices podcast. For a lot of people, life is divided into two chapters. For myself and for other friends that I know. And for today's guest, we have before and after. And for Dorian Warmsley, that moment came in 2014 when he survived a 4-story fall while blacked out from alcohol. Most people call that rock bottom, but Dorian calls it the new beginning. And today he's a wellness coach, speaker, and host of the Bamboo Season podcast, helping people rebuild their lives through discipline, fitness, sobriety, and intentional living. Dorian, welcome to Vegas Voices.
Thank you for having me on your podcast. I'm super excited. This is great to be on the other side, you know? Have you ever been like that on a podcast and you're like, oh, finally, somebody can control it and I could just sit and answer questions and it feels good, man. Thank you for having me here.
Absolutely. It's great to kind of practice both sides and you know, get to tell your story too, because as a host, you don't always get to do that. So, and I think your story is amazing. So I kind of want to start from that moment for you. When people hear I survived the 4-story fall, they immediately focus on that night. But I want to bring you even further back. And what was Dorian like into the years leading up to that?
Yeah, so before the fall in 2014, so around that time I was 23 when that happened. And my life before that, late teens into early 20s, just partying. Yeah. No real direction of where I was going in life. I had no structure. I was working retail jobs. I worked at Gap, Nike at the Caesars Palace, and just random jobs. And all I cared about was partying and having a good time. And before that, I grew up originally, I'm from Orange County, California. So I grew up about 20, 25 minutes from Disneyland. Okay. So I'm very familiar with Disneyland. I've been a lot as a kid. That's why now as an adult, I see Disney adults and I'm like, you guys are weird. I don't know. And, you know, at the age of 9, me and my mother became homeless.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So she didn't make the best decisions at the time. And we ended up living in and out of motels all through Orange County for about 3 years. And during that period, didn't know, we didn't have a good Christmas, didn't have a good Thanksgiving because we didn't have money. So we're living in motels, and during that period of life, it was hard at the time. You know, as a young kid, but you're so young that you don't know how hard it is.
Yeah.
It was kind of my normal. And she moved us here to Las Vegas in 2004 because she felt like it'd be a better life. Things could get better. And sure enough, once we moved here in 2004, she got a job at the 99-cent store on Flamingo, Maryland, making $6.15 an hour. And we were living in budget suites. And within 2 months, she got us in a 1-bedroom apartment. She got a different job, more money. And we eventually got a 2-bedroom apartment because it was me, her, and my younger sister. And that went on. We moved to Vegas. My life got better. And as I graduated high school, like I mentioned earlier, I had no direction. My dad wasn't in my life. I didn't know what I wanted to do. All my mom wanted me to do is stay out of trouble and graduate high school. And I did graduate high school, but I didn't stay out of trouble.
Yeah, we often do that as kids, man. I had a wild teens and kind of like same age as you were at the time, 22, 23.
Yeah.
And I definitely hear, you know, if I had to chance to go back and kind of like, you know, slap myself a little bit.
Yeah.
I would definitely do it. We don't get to do that. But often these things manifest into different things. So do you think the alcohol was the problem, or do you think that growing up in tough environment was more of...
I don't think alcohol was my problem. I think it's what I was using as a solution to the real problem. But I was so young, emotionally, mentally, like I didn't realize that. Because when, I don't know if you drink or not, but you know, when you're in those late teens, early 20s, that young, wild, and free mindset, you're just partying. You think nothing of it. You're going to the clubs, you're going to parties, bars. Everybody else is doing it. So when everybody else is doing it and you're doing it, it feels normal.
Yeah.
And I don't think drinking is 100% bad if you can control it, but I couldn't control it. When I drank, it was I'm sober or I'm blacking out.
Oh.
There's some people, you might be one of those people where you can, you know, go out with a drink with your woman or your friends, have a cocktail here and there, but you know when to go home. And that wasn't me. Like when I got tipsy, it was like a trigger in my head, like, okay, we're going there tonight. It's time to take it up a notch. This is like your warm up.
Yeah.
That was like my warm up once I got tipsy. And when I think back on it, I used to ask myself too, the next day when I was hungover, I'm like, man, why do I drink this way? Why can't I just be chill? And I could never figure it out. It took a long time. It wasn't until I went sober and I got about 6 months sober, maybe even a year, where I could reflect and think like, wow, that's why I was abusing alcohol, because my dad wasn't in my life, because I had a hard upbringing, because I didn't want to face the trauma that I felt from a 4-story window, because I got diagnosed with PTSD after that. And I didn't want to accept it. Didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to relive it. I didn't like telling my story initially. And using alcohol, getting drunk, helped me not feel it or think about it.
Yeah. That's makes so much sense, man. Like so many times. And then I had my moment when I was struggling with, drinking excessively. Right now, not the case, and it's always something behind it.
Yeah.
Whether that's drugs, alcohol, or whatever people are like addicted or abusing, there's always like underlying reason. Tell me about that moment, man, when you felt like people love that, like it's almost like glorified on social media, like, oh, I had a life-changing moment.
Yeah.
But the reality is like things don't change in that same exact moment. Usually take time. You mentioned that for you, that was about 6 months.
Yeah.
What actually changed right after the fall, and what changed after time passed for you?
So in 2014, it was November, almost 12 years ago. And I was blacked out drunk with some friends. We're on a party bus. And that's the last thing I remember. And a week later, I woke up in the hospital.
Wow.
And I was in the hospital bed. I looked around and I was confused. I was like, what am I doing here? What's going on? And when I looked over, I saw my mom. And, I could tell something was wrong because the way she looked, it just didn't look right.
Yeah.
And she told me, like, hey, you fell from a 4-story window. Like, you were drunk. Well, she didn't even say if I was drunk yet. She didn't know. Because they were still trying to decide and see, was it like a suicide attempt? Did somebody push me? They had investigators go look, talk to people who were there. And it was me just being drunk and not making good decisions. And when I woke up in the hospital, it was a lot of shock for a while. Like a lot of shock that was what happened. It was almost unbelievable. And I couldn't move my body. I was stuck to the hospital bed. I broke most of my ribs on the right side of my body. I fractured my spine. I had brain swelling. And still to this day, I have, a mark from a trach where they put it in to help me breathe while I'm in a coma. And I was just in the bed and I just felt so down because I couldn't move. And they knew I wasn't paralyzed, but they didn't know the severity of the injury until time came on. And I remember my tongue was not permanent, but crooked. I couldn't talk. I was slurring. There was just nerve damage. And all I could think about was I didn't want to be there no more in the hospital. It was hard being in there because you can see, you can look, but you couldn't feed myself, couldn't use the restroom. I couldn't brush my own teeth, couldn't do anything for myself. And I remember reading a book. It's called The Secret. You ever read it or heard of it?
Yeah, amazing book.
So I read the book while I was in there. Somebody recommended it. And while I was in there, because every night I had anxiety, I was scared to go to sleep. And when I couldn't go to sleep, I get the iPad and I just read the book. And what I took from the book was about just changing your mindset and thought process and outlook on life. Like if you focus on the negative and you're focused on the problem, it's going to stay there. It's not going to go anywhere. And I just remember telling myself, like, I'm getting out of here by Christmas, because this was November. So I'm like, by Christmas, I'm getting out of here from my mom. That's going to be her Christmas present. Like, let me get out of here. Because they told me they can't let me go until I can move my body to a certain point.
Yeah.
And before you know it, man, I was doing physical therapy in there. And then within 3 weeks, I got out the hospital.
Wow.
And I'll stop right there if you have any follow-up question or what else you want me to say. I don't want to go too long.
Yeah, no, that's fine, man. I love listening to stories like this, and I kind of want to come back to the mindset shift, because that's super important for me. But first, I want to ask you: do you think like people need to hit that rock bottom in order to really change? What's your opinion?
Do I think people need to hit rock bottom to change?
Yeah.
No. I think. Well, I'm actually. I don't think you have to. I think it's important to catch yourself before you do. But sometimes rock bottom, it's varies for different people. It could look different. It doesn't have to be a 4-story fall.
Yeah.
You know, it could be getting divorced.
Yeah.
It could be losing somebody that, you know, passes away, or just a friendship. Because everybody handles things differently. So that emotional toll can make you feel like rock bottom. But that doesn't, it's going to come again. It's not like you're going to have one, like falling a 4-story window. That's one thing that happened to me. Later in life, I lost my best friend. And then I lost my grandfather to dementia. I've lost jobs. You know, I've been fired. I've been not thought about for opportunities. You know, there's different situations. So I think if you focus on switching your mindset throughout your life, regardless, it'll help you prepare better for those moments that come, as opposed to just being so, oh my God, why me? How do I handle this? I don't know what to do. Now I have no worries. I survived the 4-story fall. I know what it felt like to not be able to move your body. Some people will never get that experience, and I don't want them to. When I go into things now and fear sets in or doubt, I remind myself, like, I got a resume of things I've overcome to where it's not going to kill me, so I need to do it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make a lot of sense. I've been through similar trauma, like many through the life as well. I have a kind of like a long record like you.
Yeah.
But at 27, I actually lost my first wife.
Wow.
And it was very painful, and it took me a lot of time to recover. So I can definitely relate, you know, like.
How long were you guys married?
We were together for 10 years, but we were only married for a couple months when she passed. So it was very, very like, you know.
Let me ask you how she passed?
As it was sickness. They couldn't really figure out what's going on with her. And yeah, it was.
Do you guys have kids together?
No, we didn't have kids. We were pretty young. And that was actually right before I moved to the States. She passed in February. I moved here in May.
And when you moved here, were you by yourself?
Yeah.
Wow, bro.
Yeah.
You lose somebody and you're on your another country by yourself?
Yeah.
How did you?
I mean, it was tough. You know how it is. Like when you go through situations like this, you say it yourself. The time heals, but you got to give it time, right? So it's not always like instant and you're like waking up one day and like, oh, I'm fine, right?
Yeah.
It takes time to realize what happened to you. And it also takes time to lose that mentality of like, oh, why me? Why did that happen? I mean, in reality, shit happens. You know, life is full of stuff that happens to you. And the question is, how prepared are you to handle that? You know, you said it. Like you have now a record of things you've been through and you're like, oh, you know, what else can it happen? And if it happens, I kind of know how to handle it. Right?
Yeah.
So it almost like, I don't know if this is the right way to say it, but it almost like makes you grateful that you've been through stuff in life, because that's what makes you who you are today.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
100%.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah,
as well?
it does. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
because I think you'll meet people in life who grew up sheltered. You know, the parents take care of everything. They make sure they don't see things or do things or get in trouble. And you meet I've met those people. I know some. You probably have too. And you can just see how when they become an adult, mom and dad can't save you forever. That boss might be an angry boss, might talk to you crazy. You're going to meet people who are going to do you wrong. And you never had no real experience of how to deal with people or experiences. It breaks people down. Like I've seen it. And I know people who it happens. And for me, it's like I've seen the ugly. I've been through it. I understand it. So when I do come through different challenging situations, I feel like I'm more equipped to navigate them. And I'm grateful that I was homeless as a kid because it made me appreciate people and their character and how they treat me as opposed to things.
Yeah.
As a kid. So being a kid and being one of the only ones in the neighborhood without a scooter, without a Walkman, without the Jordans. Now as an adult at 35, I can look back like that was why I like to do community work now. That's why I have compassion for homeless or people going through struggles, because I understand, like,
Yeah.
man, there was some things in those days where it was just sad, bro.
Yeah, yeah. You know what's on the other side, it's to be on the other side.
Yeah.
So that's why that compassion is there. But let me ask you this. You often talk about identity. What do you think is the biggest factor that shapes our identity? Is it the environment? Is it friends? Is it people? Is it situations, experiences?
I think one of the biggest reasons we have our identity is our belief system. So beliefs, they're not even always our own. Sometimes our beliefs are given to us by our parents, our environments, our friends. Because I'm sure you could probably think about something your parents told you as a young kid. Hey, don't do that or else this is going to happen. Or make sure you do this every time. And you get older and you think like, that wasn't even true.
Yeah.
But what happens is some people don't question beliefs. They stay with it their whole life and never even question it to see if it's real or see if it fits them. But the good thing about beliefs is that they're learned, which means you can unlearn them and build new beliefs. But you got to be willing to be open-minded and realize the way you learned isn't always right or wrong. It's just different. And for example, if people with drinking, I've heard people say, I drink because I get anxiety in social environments. Okay, you probably do, but that doesn't mean you have to drink. It's a belief you put in your head, like, I have to drink to be around people. Instead of ask yourself the question, why do I get anxious around people? And then it's going to give you an answer and you go a little deeper. But the scary thing about that is it's going to bring up things and make you face some trauma or some experience that you didn't realize was making you have that belief. And it's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary. So I definitely believe identity is built by your belief system, and you got to be willing to take in a new belief system and learn new things from new people. And yeah, I think that's...
To follow up on that, let's say if you have some bad habits, like whether it's drinking, smoking, whatever that is, addiction, do you think you need to start changing the habits first, or you need to start changing the beliefs first?
Beliefs first. Because that's closer to the root as opposed of just the habit. For example, with me and with drinking, when I decided to stop drinking, I made a bold statement. I straight up said, I don't drink. That's it. Not anymore, not for 30 days, not for a year. I just said I don't drink. I made it not a part of me at all. So when everybody asked, hey, we're going, I'm like, I don't drink, I ain't going. You want? Nope, I don't drink, I ain't going. I don't drink, I don't eat pork. It's the same thing. As part of who I am, like, I don't eat pork. And I was like adding drinking to that list of things I don't do.
Yeah.
And it made it easier as opposed to me trying to just stop the habit. And I see it often. I have people who reach out to me and they ask for help and advice. And I think you got to move yourself out of certain environments, but also it's a mental state. Because just stopping the drinking, it's almost like you're stopping it, but it's still part of your identity in a sense.
Yeah.
But
it's hard to let go of things sometimes, You know it's a bad habit. It's not good for you, but you still keep doing it. So that makes a lot of sense what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah. You almost gotta assign new identity to yourself.
Yeah.
I am this. I am that.
I say this a lot. I need to put on a shirt, but I say you need to practice it until you become it. You might say, hey, I don't drink anymore, and you might mess up. It's okay. The next time, you keep saying it. You keep reinforcing that belief system as opposed to reinforcing the belief of, I have to drink to be around people. When I'm sad, I have to drink. I need to drink at the end of my night to wind down.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that. You really don't. You're just not willing to sit with discomfort long enough to help your body learn to adapt to a new way. You want to, it's just easier. That's all it is. It's easier to, I got to have my glass before bed. I have to.
Yeah.
No, you don't. We weren't designed that way.
Yeah, the hard day. You know.
I had a hard day. I got to know. Sit with that hard day. Sit with it. People don't want to sit with it because, man, I get it. I understand. But at some point, you got to allow yourself to sit with it because eventually your body's going to learn, and you're going to have something else on your resume of, I was able to get through this hard day without drinking, without smoking, without porn, without weed, food, because everybody vices that we all have something. People can hide it as much as they want, but they can't hide from themselves.
Oh yeah.
At some point, dark comes to light.
So true, man.
Yeah,
so true.
always.
I get chills when you say that. You know, so true. But did you have to let go of friends when you stop drinking? And
I didn't say. I would say yes, but I still have my same friends to this day. I think for myself, I knew I had to remove myself and not go into certain environments anymore or attend certain events or be around certain people because that's what they wanted to do. I don't think it's wrong. They wanted to smoke and drink. That's them. I used to be a part of it. But now I couldn't trust my willpower. I wasn't going to go hang out with Ivan. And when I know he likes to drink, we used to drink together. I'm going to think, oh, I'm watch. No, I'm going to be like, just one. And then I'm like, well, I already got one. Might as well go. So I removed myself and I put myself in solitude and I dived into myself. Like I started working on how to become a better communicator, how to become a better fitness coach. How do I build my business as a fitness coach? Trying to figure out myself and improve myself. And I did it for so long that it became part of my identity now. Going into myself and learning myself became part of my identity and how I live my life. After about some time, 7, 8 months, I didn't feel the urge and need. I kind of realized what alcohol, how it wasn't helping me. So I can go hang out with my friends and not worry about it. But also, Ivan, what I learned is I have a real good group of friends because they know how my lifestyle is. And if they invite me out, they know to make sure it's earlier in the day because I like to go to bed. And they know to have my own Perrier or Pellegrino because they're going to drink and do their thing, but they make sure to do things to make me still feel included. And I'm very grateful for that. And I feel bad for people who have friends that don't do that for them. And my message to those friends is you need to do that for your people.
Yeah.
If it's a friend, you need to learn to compromise and make them still feel a part when they're trying to change their life. I hear it all the time. Oh, I got sober. I lost all my friends and nobody in this. I can't relate, bro. You need to get better friends. You had a bad judge of character. You need to stop being so sad about it and be like, that's a sign for you. Like,
yeah,
I got sober and you acted weird. Okay, cool. Now I know how you really are. I need to go find people who are going to love that I'm changing my life, not feel like they're losing me. Because to this day, my friends still do it. Like, and I think it also helps influence them to want to make changes in their life also. They still drink, but I would like to think that me doing my journey has helped them maybe scale back, be more open-minded to it. But man, I have the same group of friends for the past since 2010. Yeah. Same friends. And yeah, I like I said, I feel bad for those people. And I think humans need to learn how to be better friends to people. It's not just us talking the shit and hanging out. It's like, no, I'm trying to change my life, dude. Like if I tell you, Ivan, I'm trying to stop drinking. You don't have to change your life, but I think it's important as a friend. You're like, you know what? All right, let's go hang out and do something else instead of going to the bar.
Let's go grab a coffee instead.
That's it. But people aren't willing to do that for people. And it's sad we're like that in this world where we think we put a lot of effort into our romantic relationships, but not that same energy into actual friendships, which I think is just as important. Because if I dive into you, Ivan, as a romantic partner, and I'm not as that in depth with my friends, at some point we're gonna break up, and then I'm just go back to my friends. They're gonna be there, and it's just
yeah.
I don't know. Good, sorry.
Yeah, makes
go ahead.
A lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense what you're saying, man.
Yeah,
makes a lot of sense. Now you're a fitness coach now.
Yeah,
and I'm on social media a lot, right? That's my job.
Yeah.
So I see all the time posts that glorify, you got to be disciplined. You got to wake up 4:30. You got to do this. You got to do this. But the reality is, like, if you've been down that path, it's boring as hell, right? It's the same day. You wake up, you do the same thing, you do the same routine. How do you stay motivated to keep up with that?
Man, I'm not gonna say I don't believe in motivation. I understand how I want to feel and what it takes for me to feel that way. To me, that's what's important. And I'm not on a crazy fitness regimen where I do cold plunge and sauna and do this and do that. I don't. I do what I know helps me start my day in the right mindset. Because what I love to do, Ivan, is serve. And luckily for me, my job, I get paid to do that.
Yeah.
I get to show up, and I train mostly women. I have a few male clients, but I get to start my first 3-4 hours a day to help somebody get better. And I'm lucky enough to have people that train with me that have great personalities and humor. We're almost like homies. So I look forward to it. And then I reverse engineer. For me to have energy for them, for me to be in the right mindset, what does my morning need to look like? Okay, I need an hour to start my day, to get my routine. What does my night look like? Because I want to have good sleep. I want to be present. Because at times I don't get good sleep, I notice how I feel. When I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, I can't wait for this to be over. And I don't like that feeling. I enjoy my clients. So motivation, I would say I get inspired sometimes, but I don't know if I get motivated. It's internal. And when you heard my story, I fell from a 4-story window. I was homeless as a kid. I didn't have a dad growing up. But here I am, 35, dude. And people pay me to help them. People listen to my content to help them. Why wouldn't I want to get up and get after it? Right? Like, why wouldn't I? And I want people to hear that because I don't want them to wait to tragedy to have that mindset. Yeah. I had to go through that shit, Ivan, and it wasn't easy. Like, when I think back on a lot of that, childhood and everything, it makes me sad. It hurts sometimes when I think back on it, but I'm grateful to happen because now I have this mindset. I can, relay my message to help people shift their mindset before the tragedy happens, or shift their mindset if the tragedy did happen to like, that honestly helped you, depending how you look at it.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I mean, what I'm hearing you saying is you need to, the things that happen to you or the day that you have is the same, right? That's how you look at it.
Yeah.
Right. You can be like, oh, I only have, I don't know, $1,000 in my account or $100 in my account. Or it could be like minus 200. I've been in that position where I'm like, every morning I wake up and I'm like minus $200 and I work through the day to catch up to make it back to zero. Because if I don't, bank is going to charge me $34 overdraft fee. Right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I never lost my house. I always had food on the table. I always had my partner, my kid, all these things. So it's easy to be like, oh, why I don't have the money? But if you switch a little bit and you say, oh, I'm grateful for all these things that I have, and don't focus so much on what you don't have, things kind of change. And
I think when you change your lens, you change your life. So when you change how you see things, that's how your life alters for the better. And to what you were just saying about, it's like having the energy of abundance already. I don't sit and write. I know some people do this. I don't believe in it. They have the affirmations all on the wall and, they do all I don't. It's not for me. I live it, like internally, I know it. And I think when I put that energy out into the world, because, man, bro, I can't believe sometimes the people I have in my life, it's hard to believe, were because of who I used to be. I never would imagine that the type of friends I have now, the connections I have, the people who send me DMs of, your content does this for me, it helps me with this. And it's all because I changed my energy, bro. I changed how I thought about myself. I started realizing that I belonged in these rooms. I belonged in spaces. And I started to believe that trauma we talked about earlier is what is going to help the next person. And that's how I go into my content. My idea is like, what did I need when I was going through that? What did I need? Young little Dorian at 9 to 12 years old, what did I need when I went through the 4-story window? What did I need? When I realized my dad wasn't coming around, what did I need? And everything I post on social media, for the most part, content-wise, is based off that, or it's something that I need to tell myself, and I just share it, and sometimes it resonates.
Yeah. I mean, oftentimes you don't know who's watching, right?
Don't know.
There is always going to be somebody
Oprah's watching, bro.
Like,
I believe it.
yeah.
She's
yeah.
gonna. Well, I'm one view away for her saying, "Wow, Dorian, we're gonna give you a show."
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. You know, you never know. Like, I have people that reach out to me and they were like, oh, yeah, 2 years ago, I saw this video of yours and it like inspired me to do this. And you don't know when you record that content, but it's so hard to be vulnerable on camera, though. Like, so many people want to show the highlight, the nice car, the success. Nobody want to show the low moments. So how do you deal with this? Like, I know, like, you need to be vulnerable to do that. So how if somebody is like out there and they've been through stuff and they're inspiring to do a change, what would you tell them how to overcome that and be vulnerable and share their story?
So I decided to go the route I did when I realized that it was helping people. You know, I would get one text or a DM and I'm like, man, I need to. Have you ever seen 8 Mile, the movie?
Oh yeah, one of my favorite movies.
Do you remember when Eminem was going against the guy and he kind of was just like, yep, you did, mess with my girl and you did beat me up, and the guy was stuck, had nothing to say.
Yeah.
And that's how I felt. I'm like, fell through from a 4-story window. My dad wasn't in my life. I was homeless as a kid and I'm still here. There's so much power in that. So what is somebody going to say about me and judge me? Oh, you look like this, or bro, I fell from a 4-story window. I'm not going to say I want you to go jump off one, but you can't tell me nothing, bro. Yeah. I walk with life differently. Yeah. So people can run their mouth and judge all they want, but I'm all right. I have proof. I didn't make it up. You can go look at the pictures. It happened in real life. There's medical records. I have it, a folder in my house of what I went through. So that's why when I show up on social media, I want to show up as me. So when you see me in person and you talk to me, it's the same thing. And I feel like when you're real and honest, people can relate to you. People are either going to relate to you or not like you. And that's both are okay. But I'm me. So the people who like me for me, they're going to love the content. They're going to think about somebody who inspires me a lot is, David Goggins. Yeah. I've seen both sides. Oh my God, he's so this, you can't do that. But then there's other people like me. I'm like, man, I love it. And it's okay. I believe people are so worried about being liked. I don't think we're here putting this word on this earth to be liked by everybody. I think we're put on this earth to help each other. I don't have to like you to help you. You don't have to like me to, you know what I mean? Like for me to help you or vice versa. You might not like me for whatever reason, but I might say something that really hits you. Really hits you. There's a lot of people who I'm not biggest fans of, but they still will drop content or say something. And I'm like, wow. And I do want people to understand what they're embarrassed of or ashamed of is their power. And they got to own it. Just own it and let it be a part of you. Let it be a reason why you got to keep going. Make it a reason why you show up the way you do. And that's why I love it. Anything vulnerable happens to me, the good, the bad, I don't mind telling it because I have my group of friends. They rock with me 10 plus years. They've seen it. They were there with me during these moments.
Yeah.
I got my mom. I got my clients. They all know me. So it's like to be worried about strangers, bro, come on. And to know most of them will never see me. If they did, they probably wouldn't say it to me in my face. There's something in them they don't like. And that's why they need to project, hey, look at me. I got this car. I got this. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. And that can get you far. But like I said earlier, you got to look yourself in the mirror at some point. Are you going to like what you see? Are you going to like who you are?
Yeah. And you see it all the time, man. People that are like not authentic, it's sooner or later it catches up to them, right?
Oh, bro, I see it all the time. There's people that I know, like I've been around them and I'll see what they post or do. And I'm like, oh, so you're living 2 lives. All right. If that works for you, bro, like I'm not willing to sell myself, my soul, or my character just so I could be liked by everybody. I even with training, I train my clients. I speak to them a certain way. I treat them a certain way. And it's what they need. That's why they come to me. I'm not for everybody, right? Like, and that's okay. There's other coaches for you. The same way you go to a doctor or a dentist. You might not like them for whatever reason. Different background, different religion, different way he talks. It's not bad. We all have preferences. And I think us as human gotta be okay with that. Because I know when I go places, I don't go to certain places for certain reasons. And I go to others for certain reasons. So I can't give that energy out and then get upset when it comes my way.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I think also another factor is that I cannot talk to from women's perspective, but we as guys, we do have a hard time admitting that we're not okay, you know, and that stems to, you know, kind of like affects everything else we're doing. Like, oh yeah, maybe I need to show up and tell the world how good I'm doing, right? But then deep down below, you're struggling and you're not okay, which is sad, man. Like, you know, as you said, be yourself. People, your tribe is going to find you, right?
Yeah.
People who
Always.
like you, they're going to like you. But tell me a little bit more about your business. Like, how did you decide to go in fitness? What was the motivation? How did that all start?
So I've been working for myself as a fitness coach since 2022. So almost 4.5 years now. And it started initially in 2000 and after my accident. So I fell from a 4-story window and I started going to physical therapy, and I was in the physical therapy office and facility doing the work, and I started to get better. And I'm like, man, I could do this for somebody else. Like, I made it from a 4-story window. I can help somebody else. I should be a physical therapist. I looked it up. I was like, oh, I gotta go to school. I gotta get a doctorate. I was like, what's the level below that? Physical therapist assistant. I was like, all right, cool. I could do that. They had a program at CSN. It was like a 2-year program. But I would have to do 2 years before that of prerequisites and whatnot. I was like, 4 years? I'm not doing that. What's the next thing? And I was like, personal trainer. And at the time, it was like 2017 now. I was walking again, working out again. I was like, I could do this. So I bought my online course and whatnot. It took me a year to finish because I wasn't good with school, the muscle groups and everything. It took me a year of studying and to finally take the test, 2 years actually. And I bought the program, and I didn't know how to start. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go work at a gym, front desk, so I can kind of get my foot in the door. So when I pass my test, I'll have a job. I started working at Orange Theory in 2018 at the front desk, making $10.50 an hour. My checks were small. And I worked there for like 6-7 months. And they kept telling me, hey, we need coaches. Are you going to take your test? And I was like, all right, I know I'm going to do. I scheduled my test for my birthday. And I was like, if I don't pass, I am not celebrating.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to set it the day before my birthday. So when I pass, I have a reason to celebrate a new year. If I'm not doing anything new, why do I need to celebrate another year? Turn another year or whatever. So sure enough, man, I did it. I passed, and I started working Orange Theory. I still do now, 6 years later.
Okay, I was going to ask you.
Yeah, I've been there 6 years now. And in 2022, I kind of just wanted to venture off into private for more money. And I just dove in. Didn't know what I was doing. I kind of still don't sometimes. But I just knew if I wanted something different, got to do different. And I'm telling you, it's me going through what I went through as a kid and all the stuff I explained. It's almost dangerous because it makes me willing, like, what's the worst can happen?
Yeah.
That I don't get clients and I'm broken homeless. I've been that.
Yeah.
But I feel like now as an adult, I have more in my mind of how I can not go that bad. And yeah, man, that's been the journey now for 4.5 years. I don't know. Yeah.
If somebody wants to train with you, how can they find you? How they can
on Instagram.
contact you?
Instagram's the number one way that I communicate. They can DM me. Any social media platform they find me, just message me. I'm willing to help anybody and everybody any way I can. But my approach isn't nice. I don't want to be nice. I'm going to be kind to you. I'm going to love you and everything, but I'm hard. Like, I don't like excuses.
Yeah.
The biggest thing I hear people say, the hardest part is making it to the gym. I'm like, bro, if that's the hardest part for you, you need to go to therapy and figure out why. For real. Like that shouldn't be the hardest part, man, because it should be a part of who you are, because you need it to live your life. Whatever it is you do, you need muscle. You need to be able to move, because at some point you're going to get old if you're lucky enough to live that long. And do you want to be one of those old people who can't even walk upstairs, can't carry your own luggage? But people do that. They say that. The hardest part is making it. So when they get there, they can just fuck around and not do as much. It's like their wiggle room to their way out sometimes.
Yeah. It makes so much sense. But it's true, though. You know, I'm on my fitness journey.
Good for you.
I've always struggled with my weight.
Yeah.
And I had a kid. He's about to be 4 now in September. Wow. And then he started walking. He started running around. And I just realized, hey, dude, I'm 41 at the time. Like, I cannot keep up with him. When he's 20, I'm going to be 60. Like, what life's going to look like then, you know? So that was my motivation. But I feel like everybody needs to find what really is that thing that matters to them, and just don't stop ever thinking about it, man.
Yeah. Find your why. Find your why.
Yeah, stick to it. What about the bamboo season? How did that name?
Bamboo Season Podcast. Yeah, man, it's an analogy based off how I live my life, how my life's transpired. Now, the bamboo plant, when you plant the seed, you have to water it every day. You have to fertilize it. You got to make sure it's healthy. And for 5 years, you're not going to see anything. So you're sitting there, you're doing the work for 5 years and nothing's happening. You're going to be like, what's going on? But after 5 years, it finally hits the surface. So 5 years, it finally hits the surface. Over the next few weeks, it grows foot by foot. So during those 5 years, if you had stopped uploading content, if you had stopped working on yourself, if you had stopped trying to become a better human, you never would get to your 5th year. So just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. Because you know what's happening is the bamboo's going so high, those 5 years, it needs to have a strong foundation.
That's so cool.
So when you're working on yourself, you got to realize that. Like, and I told myself, well, I'm going to do my podcast for 5 years. I'm coming up in year 2. My plan is 5 years straight. Wow. I don't care if I get monetized. I don't care if I get 10 views, 1,000. I'm going to do 5 years, because I'm trusting by that 5th year, something's going to hit the surface for me.
Yeah. And it's often like that in life, man. And in business and in everything, like you see it's flat. So, you know, takes that curve.
And you can't, like I said, that's why I love the analogy, because it's like, are you willing to go 3 to 5 years doing work without seeing anything? Like, you got to be willing to do that, especially with personal development. If you're going to, so my goal is to be a great motivational speaker, great communicator overall. So I'm going to Toastmaster clubs every week. I'm doing my podcast. I'm having conversations with people. I'm on the microphone at a group fitness gym. I'm getting my reps in.
Yeah.
I don't know when the $1 million contract's coming, but I know when they hit me up,
you'll be ready.
I'll be ready. And I'm not going to be scared, because I know. But my job isn't to know when. My job is to do the work day in and day out, trusting. Like right now, I started doing breath work. My therapist recommended it. So I found these videos on Spotify. I found some, 3 of them, 5 minutes, 8 minutes, 12. Every day I do one of them. I try to do as much as I can. I don't know if it's going to change my life completely, but my plan is I'm going to do it every morning to start my day, to see what happens, to build a new habit. What's the worst that could happen if me doing that the first 5 to 12 minutes of my day? If anything, it's going to help me. I don't see how it's hurting. Yeah. So that's what I've been doing, and I'm just trusting at some point it's going to hit me like, wow, that breath work came in handy. I don't know.
Yeah, what I hear you saying is commit to the activity rather than the results. Right?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
I tell this all because I have a mastermind where I teach like younger creators how to make content.
Yeah.
And I always tell them, don't your goal shouldn't be 1 million views, shouldn't be 100,000 views, shouldn't be even 10K views. Your goal should be posting every day. Your goal should be in front of the camera. Your goal should be sharpen the skill. Because the results are going to come if you stick with it long enough.
Yeah.
I love what you say. I'm committed to 5-year plan.
5-year plan, dude. That's it. Like, and now that I'm saying it, nobody knew until I said it.
It's official.
I gotta stick with it, right? And I haven't missed a week yet. I've done over 100 episodes, and so that's the analogy behind Bamboo Season. And I have my guests come on similar to this, and they share where they're at, but how they got there. Because people come in here, they're gonna see Ivan. Oh man, you got the studio, you got the podcast. Oh my God, they don't know about you coming to America, not knowing English, having to learn, being alone, away from your family, losing a wife at a young age. They don't know the jobs you probably had. They don't know that. They just see, oh, the studio. Like, no, bro.
Overnight success, right?
And I think it's important we hear those sides of stories from people, everyday people. We don't need to hear the Oprahs every time. We know her story. We don't need to hear all these, we know their story. And that was a different time. If anything, now it's harder now to make it than ever because everybody has the accessibility to do so.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost like, damn. And you get in your head and you're like, damn, he has a podcast too. Why should I do one? They have a podcast. Why should I do one? We can talk ourselves out of anything, but then we can also talk ourselves to become anything.
That's so strong, man. Ooh, that's mic drop.
Damn. That was good. I like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to use that.
That's the truth, man. That's the truth. You just gotta know what you want or figure out what you want if you don't know and go all in.
Yeah,
That's
man,
it.
it's movement. I think because we have so many resources now, ChatGPT and everything, I catch myself doing it too. Because I don't want to say all these things I'm saying. People think that I wake up every day and I self-sabotage at times too. Like I overanalyze, especially with ChatGPT, for example. I put it in there to learn how to do X, Y, and Z, and then you get information. Okay, well, how do I do it better? Da, 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 da. And you get analysis paralysis. You're doing so much work analyzing that you're not moving, you're not doing. Like the podcast, it took me like almost a year of talking about it before I actually did it. I had to have the right intro. I got to have the right music. And then one day I was like, I'm just going to do it.
Yeah, none of that
and learn as I go.
100%. Yeah, that's the best way to do it, man. Anything, business, podcast, content, live.
Just do
whatever. Yeah, just do it. That's so true. Tell me about Vegas, man. I mean, you were sober, fit, and you live in Vegas.
Yeah.
How does that function together? Like Vegas is, Sin City, and so many people are out there struggling with,
An analogy I like to use, let me make sure I get it right. You got to make sure you don't allow yourself to be a thermometer. So you put a thermometer in somewhere, it lets the environment tell it its temperature. You get what I'm saying? And you got to make sure you're not living like that. If anything, you're more of a thermostat, or you get to decide how hot or cold you're going to be. So you can put me anywhere, dude. Put me in the jungle with lions and whatever. Yeah. We out there. People can, like I said, you got to stop using excuses for why you are besides yourself. You're in Vegas, you're a party city, this and that. Okay, it's fine. You don't have to go to the clubs. You don't have to party. You don't. Especially if you get my age, I'm 35. I can't be doing that, dude. Like I said earlier, I care about my clients. I care about dropping my content. Is that helping me get better at that? And that's where I think people need to start thinking about, who do you want to become?
Yeah.
And if you don't know, think about people, idols or whoever, that are living a certain life and you want to live that way. Okay, is that people I look up to, like Eric Thomas? He's a motivational speaker. And I listen to his content a lot. So when I make decisions, I'm like, is that helping me get to that level? No. What's going to help me get there is spending my weekends or my free time going to Toastmasters, studying to get better at podcasting, listening to podcasts to get better at question asking, how to become a better communicator. That's my ultimate goal, always, and improve my emotional state.
Yeah.
So doing things day in and day out So it doesn't matter what's going on around me. I got to focus on what I'm in control of, which is what's going in me.
That's so true. That's so true, man. And coming back to the analogy that you just used for the thermostat, I feel like it's almost like when you set the temperature to a certain level, your environment starts changing. Just like as I walked into the room, I set the thermostat at 72, and now the room is slowly cooling down to 72, right?
Yeah.
So it's almost like that in life, I feel like. When you decide and make that decision, that's the environment, like the universe, God, or whatever you want to believe
We're about to go another level. We're about to go another level.
Changes around you.
When you're the thermostat and you set the temperature for what you need and what you want, you know what else is going to happen? The people who don't like that temperature are going to remove themselves. The people who want it, they're going to come that way. Yeah. It's too cold. I got to go. It's too hot. I got to go. All right, bye. Oh, it's warm in here. I like this energy.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So you got to be a thermostat of your life. Set the temperature, allow who shouldn't be there leave, and welcome everybody who wants to be around you. Woo! I might write that into a talk, dude. That was good.
That is good. That is good. Awesome, man. That's amazing. You have a really great story, bro.
Yeah, I love it.
I really gotta tell you that. And, you can feel, I'm not sure if people can feel that when they watch the video, but you can feel the energy in the studio, right?
Yeah, I hope they do.
We do have a rapid fire round, so I'm gonna go a bunch of questions and
let's do it.
You can answer one sentence, one word, whatever comes to mind. What's one belief that you had at 12 years old or 12 years ago that you don't have now or you completely disagree with?
That I need alcohol to feel important.
What's something that society celebrates that you think it's actually unhealthy?
What is something society celebrates that I actually feel is unhealthy?
It's a hard one.
Nah, I'm gonna say the super optimization of life. You got to do these peptides, and you got to do this, and you got to do that, but nobody even goes to therapy. Start there first, because if you're doing all that stuff for the outside look, but internally you're messed up, it's gonna show.
Yeah.
But if you go in and change inside first and figure out who you are, in turn, all those better habits will start to shift to you, and you'll start to pick up those better habits. You can go lift weights and do peptides and Ozempic all you want and everything, because you'll see it. People are going to get the body they think they want is not how it looks, because they're going to look in the mirror one day, they're going to be looking shredded or looking fit, still not be happy because they internally are still messed up.
Yeah, that's so true. That's true. I have a client, actually. She's a bariatric coach. So she teaches people how to change after they went through bariatric surgery.
Wow.
Because if you're struggling with food addiction or whatever it is, right, they may shrink your stomach, but they still find a way to gain weight. They still find a way to pump in the calories, whether it's shakes or protein shakes or whatever it is. Because, as you said it, the outside is different, but the inside is still broken. Right, so that resonates a lot, man. Fix the inside.
Fix the inside, and it's hard. It's coming to fitness space, so people ask, "What do you think about this?" And I think it's great. I think you should optimize your life and do what you can, but start within first, man. Because especially when you're doing those super fat loss things, it's like you're gonna take away the fat and that like this, but you're still that person inside. You didn't learn how to work hard. You didn't learn how to control your mouth. You didn't learn how to navigate your emotions, because I'm guilty too. When my emotions are whatever, I tend to eat. I'm a sugar person. When I gave up alcohol, sugar became my new thing. So I still struggle to this day with that. It's 4.5 years. I want to paint a picture like I'm just Mr. Bowflex, but I still have my time. But I enjoy it because as hard as it is to struggle with, I sit with it and try to learn it. And what all I can do is the next time the emotion comes up, make a better decision.
Yeah, that's what it comes to.
Continue,
that's
sorry.
What it comes to. Next question. If you could eliminate one excuse from people's vocabulary forever, what would it be?
The word try. I believe people like to use that word because when they say try, it makes you feel like, oh, they attempted. And it leaves the door open for you to be like, well, I tried. You either do or you don't. I get it. There's certain situations. If I ask you, hey, you come into my podcast event, I'll try. What does that mean? Look at your phone. I'll give you time. Like, look at your phone, decide. Can't make it. It's okay. You got to be okay disappointing people, even if that means picking you first. You shouldn't feel bad. I say no a lot just because I know energy-wise, I'm not going to have it.
Yeah.
Or I don't want to be around that crowd today. I'll say no. Ivan, I can't make it. But maybe that day of, I feel better. Hey, man, actually, I am going to make it. I feel like that's such a better response than, I'll try.
Yeah.
Nah, man, commit to something. I'll try to lose weight. No, ain't no try. You either do or you don't. Because if you say I'm going to lose 20 pounds, that's going to require you to commit to a different kind of lifestyle and different kind of habits. And you too scared to do it. Ooh, and I know it's hard, but do it hard, man.
It's almost you give yourself the way out before even
way
start,
out.
Right?
And now that you hear this, think about it when you talk to people, when you see them. Even myself, I will catch myself and I'm like, no, there's no try. I'll take a second before I respond and think about it. Am I going to be able to do it? Yes or no? And that's it. And
I feel like a lot of people are not conscious of that, but you almost like words have power, right? You speak it into existence. And when you say, oh, I'll try, universe is like, well, why would they even, or God or whatever, why would they even bother giving you what you want? Because you are not ready yet.
Yeah.
You already give up.
That's good.
So a lot of times, and I'm guilty of that too, a lot. Like my mom is very, very like person who always worries and person who always overanalyzes. And like throughout my life, she can instill that almost like insecurity in me. Like, oh, you doubt yourself all the time. And then when you speak, that doubt comes out in your language, in what you say, right? You almost don't believe you can make it, right?
Yeah.
And then when you catch yourself in the moment, then you say, oh, I'm gonna try this or I'm gonna try that. No, dude, fucking do it.
Do it. That's it.
Right?
Do it.
So watch what you're saying.
100%.
That's so true. That's so true. What's the one question you wish people ask you more often?
The one question I wish people ask me more of, can I make it too? How are you feeling and how can I help you? Yeah. Bro, it's crazy. Like, part of my job is to check in on my clients and this and that and whatnot. And when people, I made a rule for myself. When people come to my mind, no matter the last time I saw them, I'll text them right then and there. Even if I haven't seen you, Ivan, in 2 years or anything, just text you, hey, bro, you came to mind. How you doing? And I'm glad I do, because more recently that happened with a friend. I hadn't seen him in probably 4 years. But something came on in my mind, a song or something. I text him. He ended up coming to my birthday. Like that, a few weeks later. Hadn't seen him in a while, and just, so great to see him and hear what now he's a dad and hearing his life and what's going on. And yeah, bro, I don't get texts from people like that ever, really.
Yeah.
But I think because the energy I give off is such he's good, he's got it. And like, I'm not struggling mentally or anything right now. I have a therapist and whatnot, but still it would feel good to hear from people just to see what I'm doing, how my business is going. It's hard, running your business, it's hard. Every day's a struggle. I can lose everything any given moment and working for yourself, but it's like,
it's a lot of uncertainty for sure.
Not a victim. It is what it is, but that's what I would love to hear more. I'm going to keep going regardless.
It's funny you say that, because when we came here on the way to the studio, when I met you by the elevator, you asked me how I'm doing, and I started talking about something else. And then a couple of seconds later, you asked me, how you doing today? You kind of like didn't let go. Until
how you feeling? I switched it.
How you feeling? Yeah, you switched it. So it's cool, man. I'm gonna try to use that more often. Like, just ask people. Like,
power of questions, man. We as humans need to stop thinking so much about us, even if it's strangers. Get deeper, man. Like, hey, how's it going? Good. You? Good. No. Like, how are you feeling?
Yeah.
You're going to say something. I'm okay. What's making you feel like? Because you now start thinking about it. It might help. And you might say something to me where I'm like, oh, actually, and I have something that can make you feel better or make you whatever it is. And even, like I said, even if it's a stranger, I think we need to start connecting more as humans and asking thoughtful questions and stop being so surface level.
Yeah.
And that's what I try to do. See, I said try. That's what I do.
But you cut yourself
Yeah.
right away.
But and that's okay. That's almost what anything that I do. I'll catch myself saying certain things that I don't want to. I'm like, all right, I got it. And then that's why I've learned to get better with my pausing and slowing down with responding. Because just like that, it gives you a little more time to process. And some people need time also.
Yeah,
But yeah.
absolutely. But that's also how you form the new habit, right? You just gotta be conscious. of
Yeah,
what
be
you're doing.
conscious.
Yeah,
It's okay if it doesn't, it's not going to change tomorrow. Like if
Yeah.
you've been doing it for your whole life, it took me 7 years to stop drinking, dude. 7 years. I fell from a 4-story window, still didn't stop drinking. It took me 7 years.
yeah,
And I like to tell people that because they see me now 4.5 years sober. It wasn't just, it was 7 years of me going down the same path. A lot of guilt, a lot of shame, a lot of self-doubt, a lot of what are you doing? A lot of self-sabotage before I finally was able to conquer that. And because there's people who are trying to stop doing something and change their lives and they beat themselves up. Oh, I only went 30 days. Got to go back. Bro, that's a win. Next time, go 31 days. Go 40.
yeah.
It's a practice. It's never gonna. A baby. You have a baby, right?
yeah,
How old?
He's about to be 4 now in September.
How old was he when he started walking?
About 1.
Did he ever stop? I'm sure you watched him, right? Like at 6 months, shaking his head,
Yeah.
crawling,
Yeah,
standing, and then falling, and then they never stop because they know no better. We know too much sometimes and get in our heads. We got to be okay looking like a baby falling on his ass.
yeah, 100%. Man, I tell that to people often. Like, what if my kid said, "Fuck that, walking's too hard. I'm just gonna sit in that chair. You're gonna push me around." And that's what people do sometimes.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
start something and it gets hard, whether that's business, fitness,
Yeah.
podcasting, whatever that is. And then it gets hard. And you're like about to give up. But if you only push through, a couple of years later, you're going to be running around.
Running.
Just like my kid is.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, crazy. If somebody's listening right now and it's at the bottom, right? Hurting, hiding, don't believing in themselves, what would you tell them?
Right now, if somebody has self-doubt, they're in a tough spot, they don't know what's next, I want them to know this feeling is just something you can add to your resume. It's another reason why you should keep going, and you need to use it as an example that it's possible. That's how I see my life. When people see me now, I want them to know it's possible to change, it's possible to become better, even if you fall out a 4-story window, even if you struggle with addiction, even if you don't have a dad growing up. So every time something bad doesn't go my way, I just think about, it's another reason. So when I tell somebody where I'm at in life, when I become a sold out speaker, it's an example. All those situations and traumas and experiences are just another reason, another example that it's possible that you're going to add to your resume of like, what is your excuse? I went through all this. You can do it too. I didn't immigrate from another country, didn't know English,
No, you did
but I still could relate. Like, damn, bro, it inspires me.
Yeah.
When I'm in my Toastmasters meetings, there's people out there with thick accents, English is their second, and they give speeches. It tells me I have no excuse not to keep coming. Like, it's just crazy. Like, I love it. It's beautiful when people go into the unknown. They don't know what's going to happen. They're told this is a dream. America's going to be great, isn't it? And they get here, they don't know the language, they don't know the people. The culture's different, right? Like, we move a different way than different countries, whether that's greeting somebody or how you eat. But somehow, here you are doing it with a podcast, bro.
100%.
So those people out there who want to start a podcast because they're scared or nervous, this guy came here, I don't even know if you knew English yet or not.
I didn't
know English. And has a podcast. There's people who speak English their whole life.
Yeah.
They gossip with their friends every day, but they're scared to do a podcast. Anyways, all right.
No excuses.
The
man.
quote I want to leave on is, be an example that it is possible. So be the example for other people to see that they can do it too.
Awesome, man. That's so powerful. Appreciate your honesty. Appreciate your time, Dorian. You're a true Vegas voice. Keep inspiring people. I wish you everything you put in mind to achieve. I know you're gonna make a great speaker, and looking forward to come see you talking on stage one day, man.
Yeah, thank you, Vegas
Thank
Voices.
you so much.
Great experience. Subscribe to them. Hit them up. Thank you.
Thank you. Awesome. If you guys like that episode, share, like, comment, subscribe, find Dorian, support him in his journey. And I'll see you guys in the next episode.